Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy and taking care of everything you need to be doing. So right now, I actually am going to be covering a little bit about the Robinhood d.r.i.p program. That's Robinhood's Dividend Reinvestment program. If you didn't already know that, and what I'm going to be doing is walking you through the setup of it, talk about why you might want to use the Dividend Reinvestment program, why some people don't use the Dividend Reinvestment program, and just, go into detail about how to structure it and why I'm using it for some of my investments, but not all of my investments. So let's jump right into the video. So I think the most important thing that I need to note is just what the Dividend Reinvestment program is. So if you're unfamiliar with it, you haven't heard of it before, you just want to know more about it, Robinhood's d.r.i.p program, or should I say any brokerage's d.r.i.p program, actually reinvests the dividends that you are paid instead of getting paid them in cash. So it's pretty straightforward. It pretty much is self-explanatory when you hear the term, but that's exactly what it is. So previously, the reason why most people elected to go with a dividend reinvestment program was because there were no brokerage fees or extra fees that were tacked onto it. So it used to be when you were trading with brokerages, you would actually get charged a fee for every single trade that you made. So it was rather small, but it did add up quite quickly, especially if you were trading with just a little bit of money in your account. So what dividend reinvestment programs actually did for you was allow you to reinvest money without having that tailored fee towards what you were trying to trade. Now, if you're looking to take advantage of the Robinhood Dividend Reinvestment Program, what you're going to need to get is access to fractional shares first. So if you want to check out my video talking about how to get access, basically covering everything you need to know about Robinhood fractional shares, then hop on over to this video. I'll have it displayed on the screen right now. But after you get off of that wait list, which I have another video talking about how long it took me to get off that wait list. So check out those videos if you're interested in it. But essentially, you need to get off that wait list, get access to fractional shares, because you can use dividend reinvestment on any shares that are offering fractional shares through Robinhood. So that's just something to keep in mind. You're going to need to get access to that list beforehand. Now, what it really comes down to when you're considering whether or not you want to use the Robinhood Dividend Reinvestment Program, it really boils down to one question, and that is what type of investor you are. So if you're a long-term dividend investor who puts a lot of emphasis on creating a portfolio structured for the way out long-term, similar to how I structure my portfolios, it might be a good idea to take advantage of some of those dividend reinvestments. If you don't like having a hands-on portfolio, you're not watching it too closely, and you want it to be more hands-off and automated, it is a really great feature if that's something that you're looking to do. On the other hand, if you're someone who looks closely at your portfolio, identifies when it is good times to be buying into stocks and selling stocks, and you're an active trader, then I would say dividend reinvestment program probably wouldn't matter as much to someone like you. Now, the reason why I am saying this is because if you are a more passive investor like myself, it doesn't really matter when you're looking in your portfolio if you just have that long-term goal. So a lot of the times when you're reinvesting dividends, you're probably going to be investing in those companies no matter what their price is. But if you are a stickler and you really like to identify some really solid buy-in points, it might not be a good idea to activate the dividend reinvestment feature, because you buy in when you're paid those dividends, you buy back into those stocks at the current market value. So some of the stocks that you're investing in might be overpriced. So you'll see in just a few moments when I'm in my Robinhood portfolio, I'm not going to be activating the dividend reinvestment program for every single one of my dividend investments. It's only going to be a select few that I have the mindset that I'm going to be investing in these no matter what the price is for the long term. So that is going to be my one criteria. So keep that in mind as I move forward. So when you look at dividend reinvestment programs, just to sum up what I was saying, conventional methods say, hey, you should be using a dividend reinvestment program. But that was in times where you were seeing commission on your trade and you were actually losing value by holding on to the cash as opposed to reinvesting it into some of those companies that you were identifying. But now I think it's more traditional to not necessarily use the feature on all of your investments. And I'm going to start jumping into my portfolio now so we can just cover that. So before I get into the d.r.i.p part of the Robinhood app, I just wanted to make sure I covered my portfolio. I missed this in my last video where I cover the Robinhood challenge. If you don't know what the Robinhood challenge is, I invest $100 every single week into the stock market. I talk about my tips, my tricks, my insight, and basically just bring you all in my mind, my investment mind, so you can understand why I'm making my moves and just follow along and hopefully learn from my mistakes. Now, hopefully I'm not making any mistakes, but granted, when you're investing, you pretty much learn through a lot of different mistakes, and I definitely have made some mistakes as an investor, so just use me for an example. Now, looking at the past day, it was pretty bad on the stock market for me. You can see my portfolio lost about 3.5%, down $183. Over the past week, I'm down over $100 at just under 2%. Over the past month, we are up $387. And then looking at 3 months, we're down $804. And over the past year, down $649, or just 11% of the portfolio. Now, something to keep in mind, I don't really know what this little jump here is. There was not a single point in time where my portfolio was at over $18,000. So I don't really know what's going on. My chart's been a little funky all day. At one point it was saying I had over $80,000. So I don't know, Robinhood might be having just a little bit of errors. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at those numbers. And just know that this is a very long-term portfolio. So even in the past year, it doesn't really matter as much, because the way I'm structuring this, these are investments I'm going to be making my whole entire life, and these are, things that I'm going to keep adding money to. Like I said, I add $100 every single week, and I look to continue that for the foreseeable future. So if you did come to this video to get more into the dividend reinvestment program that Robinhood has to offer, what I'm going to do is jump right over to that section now. So to get there within the app, after you have access to fractional shares, all you need to do is hit the little guy icon in the bottom right. It's going to take you to this screen right here. You click on investing, and you can see this is where it talks about your portfolio, your cash, all that stuff. If you just scroll a little bit down, you can see you can edit your dividend reinvestment. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click that, edit my dividend reinvestment, and you can see right now it's turned off, but I want to actually turn this on because there are a number of different companies in my portfolio right now that I want to just enable this feature. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to not have to handle the money that I'm coming in from these dividends. It's just going to be reinvested into these companies that I'm reinvesting in anyways, aside from their dividends. So it's just one thing I thought it'd be cool to show. So you can see that right now it's enabled on everything, and I'm going to uncheck them all and just start with a clean slate for you guys. So I'm going to run through my investments kind of one by one and make sure that I have it set up just the way that I want. So let's see. So knowing what companies that I feel like I'm going to be investing in for, the entirety of this portfolio, AbbVie is really solid. I want to take all their dividends, reinvest them back into their company. A lot of companies right now, you need to realize that in my mind are undervalued because of the current economic conditions. I still feel like they're going to drop in price, but these are companies that I feel like I'm still getting into at a good price point. That's why I'm enabling this feature. If I thought these prices were overvalued, I would not be enabling this dividend reinvestment program, and I would manually invest all of my money just identifying what stocks I thought were the best move at the time. So there we have AbbVie. I'm going to go ahead, scroll just a little bit. I definitely want J&J, Johnson & Johnson, very, very solid company, and Coca-Cola for sure. I also want to do McDonald's. And let's see anything else here. I think those are the main ones. SPHD as well. SPHD is my biggest holding, many of you already know. And that is what I'm gonna structure it at for now in terms of what I'm turning on for the dividend reinvestment program. So if you ever wanna turn it off, all you need to do is simply go back into this section. You hit that guy icon again, you scroll down, you click on edit dividend reinvestment, and then you can see right now they're enabled. You can just flip it off. When you flip that, it's going to shut it off. But if you want it back on, it'll save your preferences. It'll know exactly which companies you had checked off. And if you didn't already know, it's going to display all of the different companies right here that are in your portfolio. I'm going to go ahead and actually add AT&T to this list as well, because that's another very solid one in my own opinion. So in conclusion, Robinhood's DRIP program, dividend reinvestment programs in general, they're pretty interesting. They used to have such a great, sort of use in my own opinion, and now it's kind of dwindling as commission-free trading has become a thing. If you are a more active investor, I don't see really the need to use a dividend reinvestment program, and honestly, in the future I might turn this off, but these are definitely the companies I know that I'm reinvesting in consistently, and I just think it's a good idea to have their dividends go right back into their companies. And even if their stock prices continue to go up, I don't really mind getting in at higher price points in time, because I feel like their companies are pretty solid. They're going to be there for a while, and even right now, pretty much I could have turned it on for a lot of different ones on that list, just because, like I said, I think that the stock market is a little bit undervalued in terms of the stocks right now, just because of the current economic situation. So let me know what you guys think about dividend reinvestment programs. Have you been using one in the past? Are you going to use one moving forward? What do you think about turning it on versus turning it off? Definitely leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd be eager to know what you guys are thinking. And other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, found it useful in any way. And if you did, smash that like button. It really does help out with that YouTube algorithm. It helps me as a content creator. It pushes my channel out, if you guys didn't know that, just getting more engagement, so comments and likes. So it really does help me out. And if you are new here and this is the first time, you know, thank you for checking out the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell notification, and we'll see you on the next video. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day.